What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jacoby's Book Club. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It's very important to me. Now, let's continue talking about I make my own motherfucking rules. The Autobiography of LL Cool J with his editor, Karen Hunt. All right, pause. What I left off was O.J. Simpson. I'm thinking about O.J. Simpson. LL Cool J second single radio comes out. You know, he done fucked up, overslept. The nigga don't like to, he not a morning person. It's out. It's really doing good. The video's doing good. The single's doing good. Now, what LL Cool J says is, you know, back in the day, MTV, if you didn't know, I wasn't alive, but I know all this shit because I know history. MTV used to play music videos. And what LL Cool J said is they was playing his music video in heavy rotation. Now, listen, it was this thing back in the day with MTV where they did not play a lot of black music videos on MTV. Michael Jackson's Billie Jean actually was the first black video to be played on MTV. That's a little history for your niggas. Now let's get back to me reading this book to y'all. In less than 6 months, radio was a hit, and I began to realize my dream of making it. But before the success was pitfalls, first, my grandfather died. I came home from a performance and my mother told me, and all I could say was, oh. It was the single most painful event of my life. I couldn't even go to the funeral. And again, Roscoe was there, making it worse. He was smoking a joint in the basement after the funeral, blowing the smoke out the window and laughing. I was numb and didn't even react. I'm going to read that again. I couldn't even go to the funeral, and again, Roscoe was there making it worse. He was smoking a joint in the basement after the funeral, blowing the smoke out the window and laughing. I was so numb, I didn't even react. Number one, pause. That damn Roscoe, which I move forward in the book. Like I was saying, that damn Roscoe is a damn devil. Like his daddy's a devil, but that damn Roscoe is a devil. I moved forward in the book because I was like, we don't got time to be doing all this shit. We got to get to LL's career. But that damn Roscoe, if anybody ever gets this book, y'all got to read up on him. So LL talks about how his grandfather was the only real man in his life and that his death hurt him to the core. Because again, his daddy was a pussy ass nigga that shot his mama and his granddaddy. Go look at the videos. And yeah, it was hurtful for him. It was hurtful, and I can relate that death is hard, grief is hard. My grandfather was the only man in my life who had never disappointed me, and his death hurt me to the core. I really turned off a lot of things after that. I stopped listening to my mother and grandmother. I really shut down. I was very angry, yet focused on my career at the same time. For a time, I would ride around the city on buses with guns in my pocket just for the hell of it. But then I go to the studio and knock another cut from my album Radio. It was crazy. I was 16 years old and thought I was grown, but I was a very troubled young man. Let me pause for y'all. I was 16 years old and thought I was grown, but I was a very troubled young man. I was also in a beef with my grandmother over school. She didn't give a damn about rap. If it meant I might give up school, she wanted me to finish. And that was that. And she was on me every day about it. I was doing shows on the weekend. I was too exhausted to get up Mondays and go to school. Now, so LL Cool J's grandmama was like, so first of all, LL's mama don't even give a fuck about, to me, I can't say she didn't give a fuck. She didn't give a fuck about, you know, him not going to school. Because his mama had just lost her daddy, so she probably focused on work and grieving over her daddy. His grandma was like, listen, I don't give a freak eek if you got an album out, LL James, that's his real name. Take your ass to school. Now, from what I just read, LL Cool J was like, listen, was doing shows on the weekend and was too exhausted to get the hell up on a Monday morning and go to school. So, and I could get that because I mean, shit, that's hard. And sad by it was this episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Kendall and Kylie Jenner was a little young, and Kris Jenner, that bitch, Kris Jenner they was doing all type of stuff, doing magazine covers, just traveling, started to work, and Kris was making them go to school, and they was like, listen, mom, you know how to be, mom. They was like, listen, Kris, we doing all of this bullshit, traveling, and we missing school. We sit up in that motherfucking class and don't know what we talking about because we over here at OK Magazine's red carpet event. And Kris was like, you girls go to school. Y'all just need to pay attention. And I'm like, how the fuck they gonna pay attention, Kris Jenner, when you got these girls out here at the OK Magazine red carpet event on a Tuesday and they got school on Wednesday and they in New York City or whatever and school out in LA. That damn Kris Jenner don't think sometimes. All she care about is that money. The money is good, but damn, girl, we digress. I also didn't want to go to school because of the jealousy I had to face. Every day I had guys in my face wanting to fight me just because. And yeah, I was down to fight, but after a while, I just got tired of fighting for no reason. Pause. Let me tell you why they wanted to fight him. Because, again, and Biggie Smalls said it the best, rest in peace, Notorious B.I.G. The more money, the more problems. Niggas, and let me tell you something, niggas are real jealous. And now Jay-Z, that's a female trait. That ain't no motherfucking female trait today. And my generation, Gen Z, niggas are jealous. It's just like, for what the fuck you got to be jealous of, nigga? And I mean, they have a reason to be jealous in this scenario because LL Cool J was famous. Well, he was getting fame. And he had money and people was playing his songs probably all over New York City. But damn, y'all trying to fight him? So LL Cool J was like, I don't have time to fight for no reason. That's stupid. And I understand. I'm not gonna fight a nigga for no reason. You gotta give me a reason to fight you. Like for me, and that's similar to, I just don't like you for no reason. I have to have a reason not to like you. Now, you can say you don't like me because I'm loud, but shit, your mama probably as loud as me and your fucking stupid ass daddy. So I mean, listen, but I digress. I also felt that I wasn't learning anything. I also felt that I wasn't learning anything there. School was too slow for me. So I made up my mind that I was just going to make music and money. I had money in my pocket, a VCR TV. I figured I was doing better without school, but I was wrong. And my grandmother was on point as usual. She knew that no matter what happened in my music career, having a diploma was important. I wish I had listened to her. I'm read that again. But I was wrong, and my grandmother was on point as usual. She knew no matter what happened in my music career, having a diploma was important. I wish I had listened to her. Pause. Now, y'all know Lily from SWV, right? So she talks about, she had 2 kids at 17 and she had to drop out of school to get a job because she grew up not poor. So when SWV broke up, Lily and Taj, Coco's the lead singer, didn't have shit. The record label was like, get the fuck on. We don't fucking play with y'all. Coco's the voice. So Lily had ended up living in a car and she didn't have a diploma. So Lily was like, listen, I didn't have nothing to fall back on. And Taj said this too when the group broke up. So this is what his grandma was talking about. But when you young like me, and like he was 16, what did he know? All he knew was, all LL Cool J knew at 16 that he a rapper, people playing his music, he got a gold record out, and he got money in his pocket. He like, I don't need fucking school no more, I got the money. He probably like, at the time, he probably like, shit, ain't that what school is about, getting to the money? She felt that I was not making enough money in the music industry, and she didn't want me to give up on myself. I only had one record at the time, but I thought that was all I needed. I was thinking if my grandfather were alive, he would understand. Okay. So we at the point he wouldn't be on my back like this. He probably would have there, been there looking back. So now his grandmother, see, this is some fuck shit now. His mother is back living in the house with the grandmother and him. So his grandma got fed up with it, and she was like, listen, you either go to school or get the fuck out. And he left. LL Cool J said, you ain't got to tell me twice. His grandma said, look, James, you ain't making a lot of money off this rap shit, but so you need to get in here, get your ass in school, or get out. LL was like, I'm going to get the fuck on. So he said he put all his clothes in a hefty bag, and, you know, he left. So, but this is the trick. He had nowhere to go. Yeah, he had a record out, and his album was coming out, but he ain't had nowhere to go. And again, pause. What are you doing? And like I said, his mama living in her mama's house because she's so worried about what the fuck her baby daddy did to her when LL was 4 years old that she can't even get her own motherfucking place to save her and her motherfucker for her and her son. Illiterate bitch. LL Cool J, forgive me for talking about your mama like that. I wouldn't want nobody talking about my mama like that, but forgive me. So he said for 2 weeks he slept on trains. He would hang out all night about noon and would hop on the train riding back and forth to Queens and to Manhattan, napping in the rush hour. And he said it was the same routine every day. He said he hardly bathed and he really couldn't brush his teeth. And he said if he stopped by a friend's house, he would ask to use the bathroom. So here we go when he gets over to Russell Simmons. I would go to Russell's office looking crazy with my hefty bag. Colonel finally saw me and was like, what the hell is going on with you? I told him. He offered me a spot in his basement. He didn't ask for any money or anything. Colonel was from uptown Harlem, but he lived in a small house in Ozone Park, Queens. I chilled in his basement and listened to New Edition records to see if I could pick which would be their next hot single. I stayed with him for a few months, and it was there in his dusty basement that I finished writing all of my first album. Colonel saved me. He gave me a lot more than alternative to Subways. Too. I always wanted to go out to. I'm reading too fucking fast. He gave me a lot more than alternatives to the Subways too. I always wanted to go out to eat. McDonald's was one of my favorite spots. Later, when I first started touring abroad, the first thing I would go do would be check if there was a McDonald's there. I might pop into a McDonald's for a Big Mac, a Coke, and an apple pie. Lord Jesus. And LL Cool J. Lord Jesus. But back then, I was there every day. Colonel would say to me, why are you wasting your money like that? You better off if you get some ground beef from the supermarket for the same money you spend in a McDonald's in one day. You can have hamburgers for a week. My man didn't just tell me, he showed me. Colonel made the best greasy, sloppy hamburgers around. I don't want to read this shit. So what he said he learned from Colonel was sincerity and true friendship. He learned about unconditional love. People didn't know how to be sincere when you have money. That's something, sidebar. Nicki Minaj said this too in one of her fucking documentaries, that when you get money, people are fucking money hungry. Who knows why? And she said, another thing Nicki Minaj said is that the industry, when she became in the industry, a lot of people who she thought was changed. They really was down for her for the money, Safari, and he was with her for 15 years anyways. And he also said they only know how to be sincere when you broke. It's unfortunate, it's sad, but it's true. Colonel was different. All right, now, if you have not hit that subscribe button, you better hit that subscribe button. And make sure you check out my Kobe For Real YouTube channel. Have a good day.